Gareth Hallam still hasn't posted a lap time, navigating the Guardia Urbana sector as we approach the 59-minute mark in this practice session.
You really need to feel the car's balance through those quick changes of direction there before you can commit to a quick lap.
Martin Mull is still to register a time, currently working his way through the Font del Gat section with just under 58.5 minutes remaining in practice.
Font del Gat is always a tricky one early on. You're balancing the throttle, trying not to overload the front tires, especially on cold rubber.
Neil Constable Barry is yet to set a time, 58 minutes and 4 seconds left in this practice session.
Hallam is still out there, just through the Teatro Grec section. They'll be looking to put in a banker lap soon. You don't want to leave it too late.
Thomas Kruger Dorado also yet to log a lap time, exactly 57 minutes remaining in this practice session.
This early running is all about getting comfortable, finding that sweet spot where the brakes bite and the car turns in predictably.
Adam Tias posts a 1:44.184, putting him into second position, 56 minutes and 27 seconds left on the clock.
That's a solid opening effort. A 1:44 is a good benchmark, especially this early with the track still rubbering in.
Kruger Dorado still has no time on the board, working through the Rosalita section now with less than 56 minutes left. Martin Mull still without a time, the clock ticking down to 55 minutes and 23 seconds.
You often see drivers just doing installation laps, checking systems, bedding in brakes before pushing. It's all part of the process.
Kruger Dorado in the Poble Español section, still to set a lap time with just over 55 minutes remaining.
Stokes hasn't put in a time yet, currently navigating the Avenida dell'Estati. That's a section where you can really feel the car loading up.
Nigel Walters also out on track, still without a registered time, running through the Avinguda dell'Estati now. Martin Mull still looking for a time, through Poble Espanyol with 53 minutes and 25 seconds left.
He might be doing a longer run here. Sometimes you focus on consistency over a few laps before going for outright pace in practice.
Gareth Hallam on the board now with a 145.335, slots into third position.
Lemrick hasn't shown a time yet, but he's in Rosalita. That's a critical braking zone coming into a tighter corner, easy to lock up early on.
Gareth Hallam's 145.335 still holding him in third, currently on the Recta de les Fonts.
He'll be getting some good data on top speed and stability through there. Important to know how the car behaves at maximum velocity.
Thomas Kruger Dorado now posts a 145.902, putting him into fourth, through El Angulo de Miramar.
That's a decent first flying lap. El Angulo de Miramar requires a lot of commitment and confidence in the front end.
Rich Snape hasn't set a time yet, currently in the Font del Gat section of the track.
Yellow flag, safety cars out.
Rich Snape still circulating through Font del Gat, yet to post a time with 50 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. Chris Stokes registers a 144.921, moving him into fourth place, as he passes through the Teatre Grec section. A big jump for Adam Tias. He posts a 142.462, now at the top of the standings, through the VIA section.
That's a fantastic improvement. To find nearly 2 seconds, he's really unlocked some pace. The VIA section demands precise steering control.
Rich Snape still without a time, 49 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in practice. Martin Mole with an impressive lap, a 141.945, and he shoots straight to the top of the leaderboard.
Now that's a statement lap. To go quicker than Tia's this early shows real intent. He's found grip where others are still searching.
Nigel Walters now on the board with a 146.174, putting him into 7th, currently in the Avinguda della Stati. Jareth Hallam remains in 6th with his 145.335, as other drivers continue to improve their times.
He'll need to find some more pace soon. The track is getting faster, and everyone else is pushing hard.
Mole improves his time again, a 141.136, extending his lead at the top, currently in the Theatric Rec section. Daniel Kochish hasn't posted a time yet, circulating in the VVS section now.
He'll be getting a feel for the car through the high-speed sections. Important to have confidence in the aerodynamics there.
Jareth Hallam slides down to 7th, his 145.335 no longer enough to hold a higher spot.
This is where the pressure starts to build in practice. You've got to react to what others are doing, or you'll quickly be left behind.
Rich Snape now on the board and immediately into 2nd place with a 141.641.
What an opening lap from Snape. To jump straight in that high up, he's clearly found his rhythm quickly. That's a very confident start.
Mole is just relentlessly fast. Another improvement, a 140.750, extending his lead at the top, currently in La Pergola. Rich Snape remains in 2nd with his 141.641, currently negotiating the Avinguda della Stati.
Lemerick posts a 144.749, slotting into 6th place. The San Jordi section is where you really need to attack the curb.
Adam Tiaz is now in third position, his 142.462 holding strong in the top 3.
He's still looking good. Sometimes you don't need to be fastest in practice, just consistent and learning the track limits.
Rich Snape continues to hold second place with that 141.641 through the Avinguda dell'Estati. Dominic Fauvarg on the leaderboard now with a 146.526, placing him 10th in the Font Delgat section.
He's made a safe start. That corner requires a delicate touch. You can lose a lot of time if you're not precise.
Tiaz remains third with his 142.462, currently on the Recta de les Fonts. Daniel Kochish posts a 152.806, putting him into 11th place. Kruger Dorado slips to 9th, his 145.902 now further down the order. Adam Tiaz is holding on to third place with that 142.462, as the session passes the 40-minute mark. Nigel Walters improves his time to a 144.846, moving him up to 7th, through Guardia Urbana.
That's a good step forward. He's found some real pace in that lap, making the car work through the S's there.
Rich Snape improves his time, now a 140.812, firming up his hold on second place. Kruger Dorado in Teatra Grec, still 9th with his 145.902.
Coachish is still down in 11th with that 152.806, working through the San Jordi section. He'll be pushing to find more grip there.
Rich Snape continues to run second, his 140.812 holding, currently in the Avinguda dell'Estati.
He's keeping Mole honest. This is turning into a real battle for the top spot, even in practice.
Daniel Coachish improves his time to a 149.460, but remains in 11th, now in the VVS section.
He's chipped away at it, which is good to see. Finding those tenths through a session is how you build confidence for qualifying.
Walters is in Font del Gat, still in 7th with his 144.846. Martin Mole is still fastest with his 140.750, now in the VVS section. Joel Lemerick improves, a 143.676, moving him up into 6th, now in Rosalita. Maximilian Turbin yet to set a lap time, exactly 35 minutes left in this practice session. Nigel Walters improves dramatically, a 143.502, launching him into 6th position, currently in Guardia Urbana.
That's a fantastic lap from Walters. He's found a lot of speed through the technical sections. He's really leaning on the car now.
Jimmy Lindo posts a 147.007, placing him 11th in the Rosalita section.
Rosalita is a key spot for lap time. He'll be trying to get the car rotated early to get a good exit speed onto the straight.
Maximilian Turbin still without a time, 33 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. Chris Stokes improves his lap time to a 1:43.097, moving up to 5th, currently in the Theatric Rec section. Jareth Hallam finds some pace, a 1:44.942, but he remains in 10th position. Kruger Dorado slips to 11th, still with his 1:45.902 in the Avinguda dell'Estate.
Hallam is in the Avinguda dell'Estate, sitting 10th. He'll be looking at the data to see where he can shave off those crucial tenths.
Dominic Faubourg slides to 12th, his 1:46.526 no longer enough, currently in the San Jordi section.
This part of the track can be quite revealing of a car's chassis balance. He's probably gathering data on how it handles under heavy load.
Rich Snape continues to hold a solid second place with his 1:40.812. Nigel Walters now in 8th, his 1:43.502 dropping a couple of places. Martin Mole continues to dominate, a 1:40.595, extending his lead at the top, currently in La Pergola.
He's in a class of his own right now. That consistency at the front is what wins races. He's really dialed into the car.
Jamie Price yet to push a time, making his way through the Avinguda dell'Estate.
Hallam remains 10th in San Jordi. He'll be thinking about how much he can use the exit curb to carry speed onto the next straight.
Jamie Price still to set a time, now on the Recta de les Fonts.
He might be doing some aerodynamic checks, maybe a slow run for data. Not everyone goes for a hot lap immediately.
Nigel Walters remains in 8th position with his 1:43.502 as the session nears the 27-minute mark.
He's consistent, but the midfield is tightly packed. He'll want to find a bit more if he wants to stay ahead.
Nick Edwards is out on track but yet to register a lap time, currently in the Risante section. Gareth Hallam finds a little more pace, a 1:44.527, but he drops to 11th place, now in El Angulo de Miramar. Martin Wolf still fastest with his 1:40.595, currently in the San Jordi section. Jamie Price now logs a time, a 1:42.807, which puts him straight into 7th position. Dominic Faubourg improves his time slightly to a 1:46.030, but drops to 13th in the Font Delgat section. Joel Lemrick improves again, a 1:42.446, moving him up to 6th position. Nigel Walters is now 10th with his 1:43.502, currently in the Risante section. Martin Mull still holding onto the top spot with his 1:40.595 through Teatre Grec.
He's just been so dominant today. Every lap seems to be right on the edge of perfection. It's impressive to watch.
Huge improvement from Jimmy Lindo. A 140.860 puts him into third, through Guardia Urbana. Kruger Dorado improves his time to a 145.791, but remains in 12th. Adam Tiaz improves to a 141.952, moving him up to 6th, currently in the Poble Español section.
He's definitely finding more rhythm now. Poble Español requires precision on entry. A fast exit is key there.
Rich Snape continues to hold on to second place with his 140.812, now on the Recta de les Fonts.
He's consistent, but he'll be looking at Mole's lap times closely. There's still a few tenths to find for pole.
Jimmy Lindo holds a strong third position with his 140.860. Walters and San Jordi still 10th with his 143.502.
Kruger Dorado is in Rasante, still 12th. He'll be trying to carry maximum speed through that sweeping bend.
Nigel Walters remains in 10th with his 143.502.
He's still got time to find a clean lap. The car probably has more in it, it's just about getting everything hooked up.
Chris Stokes improves his time to a 141.719, moving him up to 4th, through the Teatro Grec section. Jamie Price finds more pace, a 142.371, moving him up to 7th.
He's making good progress. It's often about building up to that ultimate lap, not just going for it straight away.
Maximilian Turbin now on the board with a 141.863, straight into 5th place, in the Poble Español section. Rich Snape improves his time again. A 140.538, closing the gap slightly to Mole and San Jordi.
He's really pushing now. That's a strong lap, taking another couple of hundredths off. He's extracting everything he can from the car.
Joel Lemerick slips to 8th with his 142.446, currently in San Jordi. Jareth Hallam now down to 12th, his 144.527 no longer as competitive.
The track is just getting quicker and quicker. If you don't keep improving, you'll be swallowed by the pack.
Tim Weller yet to set a time, currently in the Font Delgat section of the track. Adam Tiaz in Rosalita, down to 7th with his 141.952. A new leader, Jimmy Lindo with a scorching 140.024, he takes the top spot.
Incredible, Lindo has just strung together a perfect lap. To get into the 1 minute 40 seconds and 0 milliseconds S is outstanding. That's a serious benchmark for everyone else.
Nick Edwards posts a 155.291, putting him into 16th position.
That's an initial time. He'll be looking to shave off a lot of time on his next run. Every driver starts somewhere.
Nigel Walters with a massive jump, a 141.280, moves him all the way up to 4th, on the Recta de les Fonts.
What a superb lap from Walters. To find that kind of pace in the latter stages, he's clearly found the sweet spot on his setup. He'll be feeling very confident after that.
Daniel Kochish improves to a 147.476, but remains in 15th place in Rosalita. Jimmy Lindo still holding onto the top spot with his 140.024 through San Jordi.
He's defending his position well. With this little time left, it'll take a monumental effort to beat that.
David Constable Barry logs a 142.281, putting him into 9th, in the Poble Español section. Rich Snape now posts a 140.051, just hundredths off Lindo's fastest time, currently in Font del Gap.
Oh, so close. That's a phenomenal lap. He's absolutely on the limit. Just a hair off the top spot. This is getting exciting.
Maximilian Turbin remains in 6th with his 141.863, currently in Guardia Urbana.
Is in Avinguda dell'Estati, down in 12th. He's got to dig deep if he wants to move up the order in these final minutes.
Martin Lowell with an improvement, a 140.078, moving him back up to 3rd through Font del Gap. Kruger Dorado improves his time slightly to a 145.778, but still 13th in the VVS section. Jamie Price improves to a 142.267, moving up to 8th in the Avinguda dell'Estati.
Lemerick drops to 10th with his 142.446. El Angulo de Miramar requires a strong entry, he might be losing time there.
Adam Tia is holding on to 7th with his 141.952, currently in the Rosalita section.
He's still got potential for improvement. Rosalita is where you can be brave on the brakes and carry a lot of speed through.
Daniel Kochish improves to a 146.648, but remains 16th in El Angulo de Miramar. Lindo is still fastest with that incredible 140.024 through the VVS section.
He's keeping the pressure on himself to maintain that pace. It's a test of nerve, even in practice, when you're at the top.
Jamie Price drops to 9th with his 142.267 in the San Jordi section. Snape continues to hold a very close second place with his 140.051 and Avinguda dell'Estati.
He's still just fractions off Lindo. I remember one session where I was consistently a tenth behind, trying everything to find that extra bit. It's tough.
Jimmy Lindo still on top with his 140.024 through the Font del Gat section. Gareth Hallam is still 12th with his 144.527, currently in the Guardia Urbana section.
He's been consistent, but needs to find a couple of tenths to challenge for the top 10. He'll be looking to optimize his line there.
Nigel Walters remains in 5th with his 141.280, now through the VVS section. Lindo is still fastest, 140.024, now in the Rosalita section. Martin Mole holds 3rd with his 140.078 in Avinguda dell'Estati. Tim Weller now on the board with a 146.401, placing him 15th in San Jordi. Chris Stokes is down to 8th with his 141.719, currently in El Angulo de Miramar. Nigel Walters remains in 5th with his 141.280 in the Avinguda dell'Estati.
These final minutes are crucial for fine-tuning. One last chance to see how the car behaves with low fuel, high tire wear.
Tim Weller improves his time to a 144.917, moving up to 13th in Coble Español.
He's made a decent jump there, finding over a second. That's a strong improvement for these late stages of practice.
Jamie Price with an improvement, a 141.696, moving him up to 7th, in Font del Gap. Jareth Hallam remains in 12th with just 52 seconds left in this practice session. Nigel Walters is in Rosalita, still holding 5th with his 141.280, just 20 seconds remain. Chris Stokes is now 9th with his 141.719 in Avinguda dell'Estate, as we count down the final 11 seconds. Nigel Walters remains 5th with his 141.280, currently in San Jordi, with 43 seconds left. Tim Weller holds 13th with his 144.917, navigating the Poble Español section as the session enters its final minute. Nick Edwards improves to a 146.436, but remains in 16th position with 90 seconds left on the clock. Chris Stokes is in San Jordi, still in 9th with his 141.719. Welcome to Montjuic for the 1975 Grand Prix qualification session, with a brisk 3 miles per hour wind already making its presence felt. Martin Mol is out on track now, through the Avinguda dell'Estate section, but still no time on the board for him with just under 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in this session. Maximilian Turbin yet to post a time as well, the clock ticking down with only 4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in qualifying. Daniel Kochish still searching for a clear lap, no time on the board yet for him with just 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Adam Tias is currently in the San Jordi section, still no time on the board for him as we tick past the 3-minute 15-second mark.
This is where the nerves really start to kick in. You know you only have a couple of chances left and you're just pushing everything to its absolute limit to get that flying lap.
Martin Mol still hasn't posted a time, the pressure really mounting now with less than 3 minutes to go.
He needs to find some space and get a clean run. Even one small mistake here could ruin the entire lap.
Martin Mol finally registers a time. A 1:40.429 puts him straight into provisional pole position with just over a minute and a half remaining. Neil Constable Barry, currently in third, is looking quicker than his best time through Avinguda dell'Estate, minus 0.02 seconds down on his personal best. Maximilian Turbin is exactly on his best lap pace as he sweeps through Avinguda dell'Estate, currently holding third position. Jamie Price is in the Poble Espanyol section, but still no time on the board for him as we hit the 1-minute mark. Jamie Price crosses the line, a 2:06.564, that puts him into 14th position with just 29 seconds left on the clock. Neil Constable Barry is flying. He's minus 0.55 seconds down on his best through the Guardia Urbana section, a real push for the top spots with only 20 seconds remaining. David Constable Barry, in second place, is absolutely on it. Minus 0.26 seconds faster than his best time through Poble Espanyol, with only 8 seconds to go.
This is it, the final chance. You can see he's extracted absolutely everything from that car. It's all about holding it together to the line now.
David Constable Barry improves his time to a 141.595 but remains in second position with only 18 seconds left on the clock. Maximilian Turbin is absolutely flying through Avinguda dell'Estati, an incredible minus 0.8 seconds faster than his personal best. He's currently P4.
That's a huge margin. He's really found something on this lap. It's a make or break moment to try and jump up the grid with time running out.
Adam Tiaz is right on the pace of his current best lap through Avinguda dell'Estati, holding P8 with less than a minute remaining in qualifying. Daniel Kocic is showing an incredible delta of minus 16.68 seconds, looking to shatter his previous best lap. What a turnaround. Jamie Price is absolutely astounding, a negative delta of minus 24.38 seconds, smashing his previous best. This is an incredible performance from him.
This is an example of a driver finding an enormous amount of pace, probably after a previous lap was compromised. He will be on rails now, just focused on keeping it clean.
Tim Weller is running exactly on his best lap pace as he navigates Avinguda dell'Estati, currently P13. Welcome to Montjuic for the 1975 Grand Prix, a blustery day with a 13-knot wind, and the atmosphere is absolutely electric. On pole position, the Flying Dutchman Martin Mol, in the distinctive WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM, ready to lead the pro-class charge. And starting alongside Mol, in second place, it's Jimmy Lindo in the WSC 60 Porsche 910 Sixths, an M-Class driver making a statement right from the off.
To get that Porsche 910 Sixths on the front row, regardless of class, is a huge achievement. This circuit will test its handling and the driver's nerve from the very first corner.
Further down the grid, in fifth position, the Pro-Am entry of Maximilian Turbin from England, also in a WSC 60 Porsche 910 Sixths.
It's interesting to see another Porsche 910 Sixths up there. That car is notoriously balanced, and on a twisty track like Montjuic, a smooth driver in one can really surprise people, especially in the Pro-Am ranks.
And in seventh, another Pro-Am contender, David Constable Barry, behind the wheel of a WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM, hoping for a strong start. Right behind him, in P8, it's Jamie Price in the WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S, another Pro-Am looking to make an impression today. And in ninth, the AM-Class entry of Neil Constable Barry, piloting a WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM, hoping for a clean race. Rounding out the top 10, Adam Tiaz, also in an M-Class WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM, an all-British Matra pairing on row 5. In P11, it's Nigel Walters, another AM-Class driver, in the beautiful WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, ready to attack.
The Dino Berlinetta is such a nimble car, it really encourages you to lean on it through the corners. For an AM driver, getting the most out of that chassis here will be key to a strong finish.
From 13th, it's Tim Weller, the AM-Class driver in the iconic WSC 60 Shelby Daytona Coupe, a classic rumble ready to break free.
The Daytona Coupe has serious grunt, but it can be a real handful on a tight circuit like this. You need to be incredibly precise with the throttle and steering, or it will bite you.
And in 14th, another Shelby Daytona Coupe, this time for Pro-Am driver Thomas Kruger Dorado, looking for a charge through the field. 3 Daytona Coupes in a row then, as Dominic Fauvard lines up in 15th, a Pro-Am challenger from the UK.
That's a lot of American muscle in quick succession. For these drivers, managing the tires will be crucial. These cars like to slide, and Montjuic offers no respite.
And in 17th, it's Nick Edwards from Canada, in the classic WSC 60 Ferrari 250 LM. A true piece of motorsport history on the grid today. The lights are out and we are underway at Montjuic. A fantastic start, the pack surges forward towards turn 1. Oh, what a start, or rather, what a turn of events. We have a big incident somewhere on track, and the safety car has been deployed immediately. That happened incredibly quickly after the lights went out. The field is now bunched up behind the safety car.
This circuit, Montjuic, is so narrow and has very little runoff. An incident here, especially early on when everyone is fighting for position, can very easily cause a chain reaction. From a driver's perspective, this is tough. You've got all that adrenaline from the start, and now you have to calm it down.
Yellow flag, safety car is out.
For when the safety car pulls in.
Well, that certainly wasn't the opening lap we were expecting. From the roar of the start to the immediate deployment of the safety car, it's been a whirlwind.
It's always a challenge when the safety car comes out so early. As a driver, you're pumped, tires are cold, and then suddenly everything slows down. It really tests your focus to maintain heat in the brakes and the tires.
Indeed, the rhythm is broken before it even began. And on a track as demanding as Montjuic, that can lead to more trouble when we do eventually go green again.
Absolutely. Every driver will be thinking about that restart now. Where to position, how aggressive to be. You've had time to think, which can sometimes be a curse rather than a blessing. The temptation to make up places immediately will be immense.
It's a testament to the unpredictable nature of racing, isn't it? One moment you're dreaming of a clean run, the next you're navigating a field under yellow flags.
This circuit, with its lack of runoff, just amplifies everything. You have to be absolutely inch perfect here. Any lapse in concentration, especially when things are bunched up, and you pay a heavy price.
Confirmation is in. The incident that brought out the safety car was indeed a substantial one, meaning we're likely in for an extended period under caution.
That's what you dread as a driver. A big incident on this circuit means debris, possibly barrier repairs, and a significant delay to racing. The safety of the marshals and drivers is the priority here.
This extended safety car period really changes the dynamic of the race, doesn't it? All the initial strategies are out the window, and everyone's just waiting.
It's incredibly frustrating as a driver. You're trying to keep the engine warm, keep the brakes and tires up to temperature, but at such low speeds, it's almost impossible. You're just sitting there, burning fuel slowly, and your focus starts to wander if you're not careful.
Absolutely, the mental game must be immense, especially knowing this circuit offers very little margin for error, even on a restart.
Yeah, it's a real test of patience. I remember one race, similar situation, safety car for ages. The moment we went green, everyone was so desperate to make a move, it was a mess again within a lap. You have to balance the hunger for position with the need to stay clean.
It makes you wonder how the lead drivers, like Mole and Lindo, are coping. They had a great qualifying, but now that advantage is essentially reset.
Exactly. Pole position means nothing right now. They've got the pressure of leading the pack, but can't dictate the pace. It's a tough spot to be in mentally, trying to anticipate the restart without knowing when it's coming.
The safety car is pulling into the pits, so get ready. The race is about to restart here at Montjuic. What a restart for Thomas Kruger Dorado, up to 6th, but even more remarkably, Neil Constable Barry is now ahead in 5th, just 2/10 separates the two after that chaotic restart. That restart was absolutely sensational, wasn't it? To see Thomas Kruger Dorado jump to 6th, and Neil Constable Barry even further up to 5th, with just a couple of tenths between them, is just incredible.
This is exactly why you have to be ready for the moment the safety car pulls in. Neil Constable Barry has clearly been aggressive and positioned the Matra perfectly. You have to be decisive, commit fully, and trust your car in those opening corners.
It just goes to show how quickly fortunes can change. From being stuck behind the safety car, suddenly both those drivers have found huge chunks of track position.
Those kinds of gains are made in the milliseconds after the green flag. It's about reading the cars around you, anticipating where the gaps will open, and having the confidence to put the car there. It's pure instinct and practice.
It does make you wonder what happened further up the order, or perhaps what didn't happen for the front runners like Mole and Lindo. Their initial advantage seems to have been eaten into already.
Sometimes, the chaos of a restart benefits the drivers further back. They have more options, more opportunities to weave through traffic while the leaders might be too busy protecting their lines. It's a massive momentum shift for these two.
This Montjuic circuit truly punishes any hesitation, even after a restart. The courage to make those moves into the narrow turns is something else.
On a circuit with such limited overtaking opportunities under green flag conditions, the restart is absolutely critical. You have to maximize every single bit of grip and power. Thomas Kruger Dorado in that Daytona coupe would have been pushing hard.
And for Neil Constable Barry, in the Matra, to gain so many spots is just phenomenal. It sets up what could be a really exciting battle between these two. Now they're so close.
Yeah, the Matra is agile, the Daytona coupe has that raw power. That's a classic setup for a close fight. But they'll need to hold on to those positions now, which is a different kind of pressure.
Absolutely, the hard work of gaining spots is often followed by the even harder work of defending them on this circuit.
My experience tells me that once you've made those moves, you just have to focus on driving clean and fast. Don't look in your mirrors too much, just keep pushing forward and consolidate your position.
On board now with Joel Lemerick, currently in third place and just 3/10 behind David Constable Barry in second, posting a 2:07.293 on that last lap.
This early in the race, with 13 minutes plus a lap still to go, a gap of 3/10 is nothing. They'll be using every bit of that car to try and close it down and put pressure on for P2.
Further back, Maximilian Turbin is battling hard in 12th, half a second behind Adam Tias, and has just clocked an impressive 1:59.111 lap time. Maximilian Turbin has made the move, now up to 11th. He's just snatched the position from Adam Tias, and there's absolutely nothing between them on the timing screen. And just as quickly, Adam Tias has fought back. Maximilian Turbin is now in 12th again, with Tias retaking 11th and pulling out a 3/10 gap. Dominic Fauvargue is running 15th, just 2/10 shy of Chris Stokes ahead, but that last lap was a 2:21.837, well off his personal best of 1:56.644. That gap has stretched for Dominic Fauvargue. From 2/10 to over a second behind Chris Stokes in just one lap, he's lost significant ground there.
That's a difficult situation to recover from, especially on this circuit. To lose almost a second in one lap usually means there's either a small mistake or perhaps the car isn't quite hooked up. He'll need to dig deep to get that Daytona coupe back in contention with Stokes.
Jamie Price is holding P10, with Adam Tias just 2/10 behind, but that last lap of 2:23.383 is certainly not setting the world alight for Price.
That lap time is definitely a concern. While a 2/10 gap is nothing, if he's consistently running in the 223s, Tias will be all over him. He needs to find some pace, or the Ferrari will be swallowed up very quickly.
Jimmy Lindo, who started P2, is now down in 8th position, just a 10th behind Jareth Hallam in 7th, but that last lap was a 2:23.750, well off his best.
This is a big drop for Lindo. To be running that far off his personal best, which was quite competitive, suggests he's either struggling with the car or had a significant moment. That Porsche 910/6 should be much faster around here.
What a turnaround for Jimmy Lindo. He's climbed 2 places to 6th, now 4/10 clear of Jareth Hallam, making some serious amends for that earlier poor lap time. Maximilian Turbin is absolutely flying through the Rosalita, currently in 11th and just 2/10 off Adam Tias, and that 1:48.516 last lap is his best of the race and remarkably quick. Absolutely incredible. Maximilian Turbin has surged to 10th, not only passing Adam Tias, but now with a massive 11.3 second gap. Tias has dropped all the way back to 16th.
Yellow flag, safety cars out.
Daniel Kosic is running 15th on lap 4, just 3/10 behind Tim Weller in 14th, and has just put in his best lap of the race, a 1:51.081.
That's
Yellow flag, safety cars out. Yellow flag, safety cars out. Yellow flag, safety cars out.
3/10 separating him from Weller, who'll be looking for an opportunity to make that pass very soon.
And once again, the safety car is out. Another significant incident on track has brought proceedings to a halt.
This circuit is absolutely relentless. Two major incidents in such a short space of time. Drivers are going to have to reset their minds again under caution.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Just as we were getting back into a rhythm, another safety car period. This Montjuic circuit is truly living up to its reputation for drama.
This is tough on the drivers, really tough. Coming out of one safety car, getting a few laps in, making some moves, and then immediately back under caution. Mentally, it's draining. You're trying to keep the focus high, but it's hard to maintain that intensity.
Absolutely. All those games we just saw, Maximilian Turbin making that incredible jump, suddenly everything is bunched up again. It completely resets the race dynamic once more.
Yeah, and it means more critical tire and brake temperature management. You can't just cruise. You have to be working those systems, weaving, braking gently, trying to prevent them from cooling down too much, all while going incredibly slowly.
It highlights the unforgiving nature of this track. Any small error, any piece of debris, and the whole field is brought to a standstill. We've seen two significant incidents already, and we're only a few laps in.
From a driver's seat, it's frustrating. You want to race, you want to push, but you're just following the safety car. You use these moments to visualize the next restart, to plan your attack, but you also have to keep your mind calm.
I can only imagine the conversations happening on the radios in these moments. Strategies being torn up and rewritten on the fly.
Oh, for sure. The engineers are frantically recalculating fuel, tire wear, pit windows. As a driver, you're getting bombarded with information, trying to process it all while driving at parade speed. It's a different kind of challenge entirely.
And for a driver like Maximilian Turbin, who just made such a monumental gain, this second safety car is a double-edged sword. He's safe from being immediately challenged, but also loses that Part 1 gap.
Precisely. His momentum is gone, the field is compressed, and he'll have to fight for that position all over again at the next restart. The advantage he had just built, the clean air, it all disappears.
It really changes the entire complexion of the race. We're now looking at what will essentially be another sprint race to the finish, whenever we do go green.
Every single driver will be thinking about that restart. There will be even more desperation to make up ground quickly, which, on a circuit like this, makes for an incredibly precarious few laps.
It's happened again. Another major incident has brought out the safety car for the third time this race.
This is an unprecedented level of caution for Montjuic today. As a driver, you're constantly fighting to keep your focus and your temperatures up. But 3 safety cars in this short a race distance is incredibly challenging and frankly, quite worrying.
Three safety cars already. This is truly remarkable, even for a circuit with Montjuic's reputation. It almost feels like the race is happening entirely under yellow flags.
This is beyond frustrating from a driver's perspective. It's almost impossible to get into any kind of rhythm. You're constantly having to switch from race pace to parade pace and back again. It's mentally exhausting and makes it very hard to judge your braking points and corner entry for when the racing actually restarts.
And with each safety car, the potential for another chaotic restart increases. Everyone is bunched up, desperate to gain positions, especially with less than 10 minutes plus 1 lap remaining.
Exactly. The desperation is going to be incredibly high. Drivers who've lost positions are looking to reclaim them, and those who've made gains are now under threat again. I'd be telling my team to just stay calm, keep the tires warm, and don't make any silly mistakes when we finally go green again.
It's turning into a real test of patience and concentration more than outright speed today. Who can keep their head and their car together through these extended stoppages?
Absolutely. The winner of this race might not be the fastest driver, but the one who best manages these disruptions. It's about being adaptable and being ready for that sudden change back to racing intensity. This Montjuic circuit is always challenging, but today it's just a different beast altogether.
We've seen some incredible surges and drops already today. Jimmy Lindo, Maximilian Turbin, both having wild rides up and down the order.
Those are the drivers who will have to work the hardest to regain their momentum. Every time you think you've settled, the safety car is out. It demands a different kind of mental toughness to restart effectively again and again.
This repeated cooling and heating of tires and brakes must also be taking its toll on the machinery. Are we going to see mechanical failures from this stop-start nature?
That's a very real concern. Those brakes are designed to operate at specific temperatures. Cooling down and then being slammed back up to temp repeatedly puts a lot of stress on them. Same with the tires. You get graining, you lose pressure, it makes the car much harder to drive consistently.
So many variables are at play now. This race is completely unpredictable.
Utterly. It's a game of survival as much as speed now. Keep it on the track, keep the car healthy, and be there at the final restart.
Unbelievable, the safety car is out yet again. That's 4 times now. Another big incident has brought everything to a halt. This is a truly extraordinary turn of events. We've spent more time under caution than racing today at Montjuic.
This is unheard of. 4 safety car periods means a race that barely exists. As a driver, you're constantly fighting the mental game, the urge to just push, but you're stuck. It's almost more challenging than a flat-out race. It's physically and mentally draining. You can't keep optimal temperatures in the tires or brakes, and every time the field bunches up, it just increases the risk for the next restart. This is a very precarious situation.
Four safety cars. I'm genuinely struggling to recall a race with this many stoppages, especially in such a short time frame. It's an unprecedented level of drama.
This circuit, Montjuic, is always difficult, but this is something else. When you're in the cockpit, you're trying to stay sharp, but the constant stop-start just saps your concentration and makes it so hard to predict what's next. Every restart is a new gamble.
It totally changes the race narrative, doesn't it? It's less about raw pace now and more about sheer survival, staying out of trouble, and having the mental fortitude to restart well, again and again.
Exactly. You're not just racing the other drivers, you're racing yourself to stay focused, to keep your emotions in check. I remember races like this, you come out feeling more exhausted than after a flat-out sprint, because the mental effort is so immense.
And with so little actual racing laps, any driver who's made a mistake or had an off-track moment is essentially getting a reprieve each time the safety car comes out. It keeps everyone in contention, for better or worse.
It does, but it also means the pressure never lets up. There's no escaping the path. Every single position will be fought for intensely in those few precious green flag laps we get. This race is going to be decided by inches, I guarantee it.
Unbelievable, yet another major incident has brought out the safety car for a 5th time. We are still under caution here at Montjuic.
This is beyond a war of attrition, it's a test of wills and nerves. 5 safety cars means almost 0 continuous racing. From a driver's perspective, this is almost unprecedented, trying to keep tires and brakes alive in these conditions.
Five safety cars. I am absolutely speechless. This is turning into one of the most remarkable and interrupted races I have ever witnessed.
This is an absolute nightmare for every driver on that track. You get a few corners of racing, then immediately it's back to following the safety car. My experience tells me this is where mistakes are most likely to happen on a restart, because concentration starts to dip from the constant stop-start.
It's less a race and more a series of very short sprints between extended yellow flag periods. The original strategy books must be in tatters right now.
Oh, completely. Any fuel calculations, tire wear projections, all of it is out the window. Now it's just about survival and being incredibly reactive when you do eventually go green. You're constantly trying to predict the unpredictable.
The mental toll this must be taking on the drivers is immense. The adrenaline spikes, then falls, then spikes again. It's a roller coaster without the actual racing speeds.
It's incredibly frustrating. You want to push, you want to find your limits, but you're constantly held back. You're watching your mirrors, checking temperatures, trying to keep the car responsive, but you're not actually racing.
And on a circuit like Montjuic, which demands absolute precision, this stop-start rhythm only increases the chances of another incident. The tension for that next restart will be palpable.
Absolutely. Every restart becomes more dangerous. People are desperate for position, but the tires and brakes haven't been working at optimum temperature. It's a recipe for chaos, as we've already seen repeatedly today.
It makes you wonder if we'll even get a proper run to the finish of this race. The clock is ticking down, and we're still under yellow.
My worry as a driver would be keeping the car out of trouble until the final few laps. If you can do that, you've got a shot, because everyone else is going to be so on edge and pushing to the absolute limit for any opportunity.
A true test of endurance, just not in the way anyone expected.
Exactly. It's a completely different kind of endurance race. Who can keep their head when everything else around them is so incredibly fragmented?
Unbelievable. This is absolutely astounding. The safety car is out for the 6th time today due to yet another significant incident. I am genuinely at a loss for words. This Montjuic race is an unprecedented sequence of caution periods.
6 safety cars. I've never experienced anything like this in my career. This isn't racing anymore, it's a test of ultimate patience and resilience. Every driver will be at their breaking point mentally. The circuit is clearly biting hard today. With the constant stop-start, tires will be struggling, brakes will be struggling, and the driver's nerves will be absolutely frayed. This is incredibly hazardous out there.
Six safety cars. 6. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my decades of watching and commentating on motorsport. This Montjuic Grand Prix has completely redefined the meaning of a stop-start race.
This is uncharted territory, even for veteran drivers. Every time that safety car board comes out, it's like a punch to the gut. You can't build any momentum, you can't push for long enough to truly understand the car's balance. It's a mental game of attrition right now.
It's barely a race at all, isn't it? We're spending almost all our time under caution. The drivers must be absolutely fuming, but also trying to keep their cool for what few green flag laps we might get.
My mind would be screaming. You're trying to keep the tires warm, keep the brakes from glazing over, leaving the car constantly, but you're not allowed to actually race. It's incredibly frustrating, and that frustration can lead to errors when the green flag finally drops.
The entire strategy for every team must be completely out the window. Fuel loads, tire degradation, pit stops, none of it matters when you're constantly bunched up behind the safety car.
Absolutely, you're just reacting now. It's about surviving, keeping the car intact, and being in a position to attack for the very last few laps if they even happen. This circuit, Montjuic, is always challenging, but this is a completely different kind of monster today.
It's turning into the ultimate test of patience rather than outright speed, isn't it? Who can maintain their composure through this unprecedented sequence of interruptions?
Precisely. It's not about who's fastest anymore, it's about who can maintain focus when the racing is so fragmented. Every single restart is a massive gamble, especially on a circuit with such tight runoff areas.
This must be an incredibly dangerous situation, too, with tires repeatedly cooling and then being stressed at race pace. The grip levels must be so inconsistent.
Yeah, it's a huge concern. You get cold spots, you lose pressure, and the car becomes unpredictable. Combine that with drivers who are desperate to make up ground, and it's a recipe for more incidents. It's a very fine line they're all walking out there right now.
This is absolutely unprecedented. The safety car is out for the 7th time today following yet another major incident. I have truly run out of superlatives for the chaos unfolding here at Montjuic. This is beyond anything I've ever witnessed.
7 safety cars. This race is just a succession of yellow flags. From a driver's perspective, this is a mind game of the highest order. You're barely racing, constantly trying to stay sharp, but it's incredibly difficult to maintain focus and tire temperatures. This has to be one of the most stop-start events ever. Every restart is going to be incredibly fraught, with drivers losing patience and grip levels likely very inconsistent. It's a miracle anyone is still on track.
Seven safety cars. 7. This isn't a motor race anymore, it's an exercise in extreme patience and stopping. I'm utterly dumbfounded by the events unfolding here today.
This is a brutal day in the cockpit. You get absolutely no flow, no rhythm. As a driver, you're constantly fighting against boredom, frustration, and the desperate need to keep the car, particularly the tires and brakes, ready for that next, fleeting moment of racing.
It makes any previous discussions of strategy, of car performance, almost completely irrelevant. It's just a lottery of restarts now, isn't it?
Entirely. You're just trying to survive. Every time you see that safety car board, you reset, take a breath, and tell yourself to be ready for the next unpredictable moment. It's less about speed and more about not making a mistake when the green flag finally flies, because the grip levels are going to be so inconsistent.
With so little actual racing, what does this even mean for the final result? It feels like we're heading towards an incredibly chaotic last few minutes, if we even get them.
The winner of this race, whenever it's declared, will be the driver who kept their head, kept their car clean, and had a little bit of luck on those critical restarts. It's a testament to mental strength on a truly punishing circuit.
Unbelievable. This is absolutely beyond belief. The safety car is out for the *8th time today after yet another significant incident.
8 safety cars. This race has become a complete anomaly. From a driver's perspective, this is a severe test of mental endurance and control, trying to stay calm and keep the car in one piece through this relentless series of cautions.
Eight safety cars. This is no longer a race, it's an unprecedented succession of incidents and yellow flags. I'm genuinely speechless. This Montjuic event is just chaos personified.
This is absolutely brutal for the drivers. My experience tells me that by this point, everyone is on edge. You're trying to stay focused, but the constant stopping and starting, the lack of rhythm, it just wears you down. Every single restart is a high-risk gamble.
Any semblance of a traditional race strategy went out the window hours ago. Now it's just about holding on, lap by lap, under caution, waiting for the unknown.
Exactly. You're just trying to keep the car alive, manage those tire temperatures that are constantly dropping and spiking, and mentally prepare for another frantic dash when the green flag eventually comes out. It's a completely different kind of challenge, one of resilience.
It's turning into a bizarre spectacle, almost an endurance test of how long the marshals can keep cleaning the track and the safety car can lead the pack.
This circuit, Montjuic, is always demanding, but this many incidents implies that the lack of rhythm and the cold tires are really biting hard. It's incredibly easy to make a small error that has big consequences here.
The clock is still ticking down, but with so little actual racing, what does a result even mean here today?
The driver who wins this, if it even goes to a full race distance, will have truly earned it through mental fortitude and an incredible ability to navigate pure chaos. It will be less about outright speed and more about sheer survival.
It's almost hard to commentate on, because there's so little actual racing action to describe.
You're just waiting for something to happen, either the race to finally get going, or another incident. It's a really strange feeling in the cockpit, believe me.
Unbelievable. This is absolutely beyond comprehension. The safety car is out for the *9th time today following yet another major incident. I am genuinely left without words to describe the continuous chaos unfolding here at Montjuic. This is a race history we'll surely remember for all the wrong reasons.
9 safety cars. This is an absolute testament to the relentless nature of this circuit combined with the fragmented racing. As a driver, you're just constantly trying to reset, refocus, but it's an almost impossible task to maintain peak performance and concentration through this. Every single time the green flag drops, the risk is enormous because of the cold tires and frustrated drivers. This is a survival challenge like no other I've witnessed.
Nine safety cars. I genuinely have no idea how to even frame this anymore. It's less a race and more a bizarre procession interspersed with moments of absolute pandemonium.
This is an endurance test, but not in the traditional sense. It's an endurance of the mind, a battle against extreme frustration. You're trying to stay sharp, but every time the safety car comes out, it's like a cold shower for your concentration.
Any hopes of a traditional race have evaporated entirely. It's just about being in the right place at the right time for whatever limited green flag running you might get.
You're not thinking about lap times anymore, you're thinking about survival. Keeping the car straight, keeping the tires at some semblance of temperature, and not getting caught out by someone else's mistake in the chaos of a restart.
The clock is still counting down, but with so many interruptions, the actual race distance is incredibly short. This is going to be a sprint finish unlike any other, if we even get one.
Yeah, it's a total lottery. I've been in races where one safety car changes everything, but none. This requires a whole different level of mental resilience to just keep going, keep believing there'll be a chance to actually race.
Absolutely incredible. This is beyond anything I have ever seen. The safety car is out for the *10th time today after yet another monumental incident. I am speechless. 10 safety cars. This Montjuic event is simply redefining chaos in motor racing.
10 safety cars. This is an almost impossible situation for every driver out there. From a racing perspective, this is barely a race at all. It's an extreme test of mental fortitude, patience, and the ability to just keep the car out of trouble. My experience tells me that by this point, the drivers are not just battling each other, but also their own minds. Maintaining any kind of rhythm, any kind of optimal tire temperature, it's just not happening. Every single restart is going to be incredibly unpredictable.
Ten safety cars. I am completely and utterly bewildered by what we are witnessing here at Montjuic. This is a day that will be etched into the annals of motorsport history for all the wrong reasons.
This is beyond frustrating. As a driver, you train for speed, for precision, for endurance under racing conditions. But this is just stop, go. Your tires are never at optimum temperature, your brakes are inconsistent. It's an absolute lottery every time the green flag drops.
It makes any pre-race predictions, any strategy discussions, utterly meaningless. This race is purely about survival and reacting to the immediate chaos of each restart.
My mind would be in overdrive, but also numb. You're constantly resetting, trying to find that focus again, but it's like trying to run a sprint after stopping every 10 seconds. You never get into a rhythm, and that's when mistakes happen, especially on a circuit this unforgiving.
With the clock still ticking, and so few actual racing laps, what kind of legitimate result can we even expect from this? It feels like we're just waiting for the inevitable checkered flag under yellow.
Whoever crosses that line first, whenever that might be, will have earned it through sheer mental fortitude, not necessarily outright pace. It's an exercise in keeping your head and keeping your car in one piece against all odds.
This is absolutely beyond belief. The safety car is out for the asterisk 11th time today following yet another monumental incident. I have never, in my entire career, witnessed a race like this. 11 safety cars at Montjuic. This is simply unprecedented chaos.
11 safety cars. This isn't just a race anymore, it's a monumental test of every single driver's mental and physical resilience. From a cockpit perspective, you're just trying to survive, maintain composure, and keep the car from getting tangled in the continuous incidents. The circuit is brutally unforgiving today. The constant cooling and heating of tires, the shattered rhythm, it's a recipe for continuous errors, and we're seeing the consequences unfold repeatedly.
Safety cars. I'm truly struggling to find the words to describe what we're witnessing today. This isn't just a motor race, it's a unique, bewildering event that will be talked about for years.
From a driver's perspective, this is a special kind of hell. You can't get into a rhythm, the tires are constantly cycling through extreme temperatures, the brakes are inconsistent. It's less about skill and more about sheer, bloody-minded resilience.
Any pre-race expectations, any strategic plans, they're all utterly irrelevant now. This race is purely about surviving these incredible bursts of chaos, followed by extended periods of inaction.
Yeah, your focus becomes entirely fragmented. You're constantly trying to reset, to re-engage, but the constant interruptions mean you're always on edge, never comfortable. I remember races that had 1 or 2 cautions, but this is on another level entirely.
The clock is still ticking down, but with so few racing laps, the actual competitive distance of this Grand Prix is minute. It makes you wonder what kind of a race result we're even heading towards.
The winner, if there is one that goes the distance, will have truly earned it not through raw pace, but through an incredible display of mental fortitude and an ability to navigate absolute mayhem. It's a test of wills out there.
This entire day has been a testament to the unforgiving nature of the Montjuic circuit, but amplified to an almost unbelievable degree.
Absolutely. Every time the green flag drops, there's a huge spike in adrenaline, but then it's immediately dampened by another yellow. That constant up and down is physically and mentally exhausting. You're just waiting for the next incident at this point.
I can't recall a more stop-start, incident-strewn race in my entire career. It's a truly historic day, though not in the way anyone might have wished for.
It teaches you a different kind of discipline. To stay calm, to keep your emotions in check when everything around you is screaming, chaos. It's a brutal education for any driver out there today.
So many variables are at play now, it's impossible to predict what might happen in the final minutes, whenever they come.
My only advice to them would be to just keep it clean, keep it on track. That's the only way to come out on top in a race like this. Don't push too hard, just survive.
This is beyond belief, absolutely unprecedented. The safety car is out for the asterisk 12th time today following yet another major incident. I am completely speechless. 12 safety cars in one race at Montjuic. This is making history for sheer, unadulterated chaos.
12 safety cars. As a driver, you'd be numb with frustration by now. This isn't a race of speed, it's a test of sheer mental fortitude and the ability to just keep your head and your car in one piece through a relentless sequence of interruptions. The constant stop-start makes tire management an absolute nightmare, and grip levels will be all over the place. Every restart is a roll of the dice in these conditions, incredibly dangerous out there.
"12 safety cars." I'm genuinely struggling to find new words to describe the unbelievable unfolding events here at Montjuic. This race is becoming a legend for all the wrong reasons.
From a driver's perspective, this is a completely different kind of challenge. You're not racing the circuit or the competitors anymore, you're battling your own patience and the extreme conditions of constantly cold tires and cold brakes. It's utterly draining.
Any strategy devised before the race is just shredded paper now. It's purely reactive, a continuous game of surviving the next few seconds of green flag racing, whenever that might be.
My mind would be in a constant state of flux. You're trying to stay focused for a restart that you know is coming, but then it's immediately negated by another incident. It's a cruel game for concentration and rhythm, especially on a circuit like this.
The actual race distance we've seen under green flags must be minimal at this point. It feels like we're just cycling through caution periods towards an inevitable, perhaps anticlimactic, conclusion.
Yeah, it's not about being the fastest today, it's about being the smartest and the luckiest. Avoid the chaos, keep the car pointing in the right direction, and hope to be there at the very end. That's the only plan left for anyone out there.
This Montjuic circuit is always demanding, but today it's just delivered a level of chaos that feels unprecedented.
It's the constant starting and stopping that's causing so much trouble. Those tires just aren't at their optimal operating temperature when the flag drops, and that leads to mistakes very easily, especially when drivers are pushing hard.
It's a testament to the resilience of the drivers and teams who are still out there, trying to make sense of this bizarre spectacle.
Absolutely. Every single one of them is fighting a mental battle right now. It takes an incredible amount of self-control not to push too hard, too early, especially with so many cars bunched up again and again.
Who could have predicted a race quite like this? It's simply unfathomable.
Nobody. This will be talked about for a very long time. A true test of a driver's ability to cope with almost no actual racing.
This is beyond a joke. The safety car is out for the asterisk 13th time today, yet another major incident has brought everything to a standstill. I am absolutely speechless. 13 safety cars in one race at Montjuic. This is not just history, this is pure, unimaginable chaos.
13 safety cars. This is an entirely new level of frustration for drivers. My experience tells me that by this point, you're not even thinking about racing anymore, you're just focused on survival, trying to keep the car out of trouble and your head screwed on. The constant restarts with cold tires and frayed nerves are creating an incredibly dangerous environment. This circuit is biting relentlessly today, and it's a testament to the drivers still out there that they're coping at all.
"13 safety cars. This is beyond anything I have ever witnessed. It's an absolutely bewildering spectacle, one that defies all expectations of a motor race."
This is an ultimate test of mental fortitude, not just for the drivers, but for everyone in the garage. As a driver, you're constantly fighting against boredom, frustration, and the desperate need to keep the car's vital systems at temperature for what little racing we get.
Any strategy has long since gone out the window. This isn't about pace, it's about sheer survival and navigating this endless sequence of caution periods and incredibly fraught restarts.
My experience tells me that by this point, every driver is just trying to stay calm, to breathe, and to make sure they don't make a mistake that causes the next incident. The pressure to make up ground on a restart, with inconsistent grip, is immense.
The clock is ticking down, but the actual racing distance has been minuscule. It's hard to even call this a representative result, given the circumstances.
The winner, if we make it to a finish, will be the most mentally resilient driver out there, the one who avoided the most trouble. It's a completely different skill set being tested today, beyond just pure speed.
The Montjuic circuit is always a challenge, but today it's just unleashed an unprecedented level of chaos.
It's the constant cooling and heating of the tires and brakes that's so dangerous. You never quite know what grip you're going to have, and that makes pushing hard an even bigger gamble with every green flag.
This race will certainly be talked about for decades, but for all the wrong reasons. A truly bizarre and historic event.
It teaches you a lot about the mental game in racing. Sometimes, the toughest races are the ones where you're barely racing at all.
This is beyond satire. Unbelievable. The safety car is out for the asterisk 14th time today following yet another monumental incident.
14 safety cars. This is an absolute breaking point for any driver. My career has never seen anything like this. It's a mental and physical marathon of extreme caution, with almost no actual racing.
Safety cars. I am completely and utterly flabbergasted. This is not a motor race, this is a sequence of unfortunate events punctuated by a safety car.
This is uncharted territory for every single person involved. From the cockpit, you're just begging for some consistent green flag running, but it simply isn't happening. The constant stopping is physically and mentally exhausting.
It's beyond frustrating for everyone watching, so I can only imagine the utter exasperation in the cockpit. Any concept of racing strategy or pace has vanished.
My experience tells me that by this point, you're just operating on pure instinct and survival. You're constantly trying to keep some heat in the tires and brakes, but at these speeds, it's impossible. Every restart is a cold tire lottery.
The clock is ticking down, and we've barely had any green flag running. This race is going to be remembered not for its racing, but for its unprecedented level of interruption.
The winner, if there is one, will be the driver who simply made the fewest mistakes and managed to keep their car out of harm's way. This Montjuic circuit has really tested everyone's limits today, and then some.
This is absolutely beyond a realm of possibility. The safety car is out for the asterisk 15th time today following yet another monumental incident. I am genuinely left without any words at all. 15 safety cars in one race at Montjuic. This is simply incomprehensible chaos.
15 safety cars. This is not racing, it's a test of sheer, unrelenting mental and physical endurance. As a driver, you'd be numb with frustration, just trying to survive and keep the car moving through this constant cycle of yellow flags. My career has never seen anything that even comes close to this. The conditions are incredibly dangerous for restarts, with cold tires and drivers at the absolute edge of their patience.
Safety cars. I'm completely at a loss. This is a race that defies belief. It's a surreal, almost absurd spectacle unfolding here at Montjuic.
This is a complete breakdown of any semblance of a traditional race. As a driver, you're not trying to find pace, you're just trying to survive the next restart, hoping you don't get caught up in the inevitable chaos that follows.
Any discussion of strategy, of car performance, it all feels utterly irrelevant now. This is a game of chance, of avoiding incidents, and of sheer mental endurance.
My experience tells me that maintaining focus through this many interruptions is almost impossible. The constant adrenaline spikes and drops, the cold tires, the frustration, it's a recipe for mistakes, which we're seeing time and again.
The clock is ticking down, and we've had barely any real racing. This Montjuic event will go down in history, but not for the reasons any motorsport fan would ever want.
The winner, if there is one, will have survived a gauntlet of chaos. It's less about speed, and everything about raw resilience and a huge dose of luck. A truly unprecedented, bewildering day of motorsport.
This is absolutely beyond human comprehension. The safety car is out for the asterisk 16th time today following yet another monumental incident. I am genuinely dumbfounded. 16 safety cars in one race at Montjuic. This is simply rewriting the history books of chaos.
16 safety cars. From a driver's perspective, this is a completely overwhelming situation. You're not racing, you're just surviving. The mental exhaustion and frustration must be at an all-time high, trying to keep focus through this relentless caution period. The constant cooling and heating of tires and brakes makes every single restart an incredibly dangerous lottery. This circuit, combined with these conditions, is just relentlessly biting everyone today. "16 safety cars. This is an utterly bizarre and unprecedented event.
I've never seen anything remotely like this in all my years of covering motorsport.
This is beyond a test of skill, it's a test of the human spirit. As a driver, you're constantly fighting the urge to just give up, to lose focus, but you have to keep pushing, keep believing there might be a few green flag laps at the end.
Any discussion of racing lines, of overtaking maneuvers, it's all completely moot. This race is purely about surviving the next few seconds of chaos and avoiding the next incident.
My experience tells me that grip levels will be so inconsistent after all these stops and starts. Every single corner is a gamble, especially when everyone is bunched up and desperate for position.
The clock is counting down, but the actual racing distance has been negligible. What kind of a legitimate race result can we possibly expect from this chaos?
The winner will be the one who made the fewest mistakes and had the incredible mental fortitude to endure this relentless barrage of interruptions. It's a surreal day, a bewildering experience for everyone out on this Montjuic circuit.
This is absolutely beyond a joke. The safety car is out for the *17th time today following yet another monumental incident.
17 safety cars. This is an unparalleled level of interruption. From a driver's perspective, you're not just racing, you're fighting total mental fatigue and the impossible task of keeping your tires and brakes alive through this endless sequence of yellows.
"17 safety cars. I am absolutely speechless. This Montjuic race is simply redefining chaos in motor racing. It's an event that defies all logic and expectation.
This is a brutal, brutal day in the cockpit. You get absolutely no flow, no rhythm. As a driver, you're constantly fighting against boredom, frustration, and the desperate need to keep the car, particularly the tires and brakes, ready for that next, fleeting moment of racing.
Any hopes of a traditional race have completely vanished. It's just a lottery of restarts now, isn't it? Who can avoid getting caught up in the next wave of incidents?
My mind would be screaming. You're trying to keep the tires warm, keep the brakes from glazing over, but you're not allowed to actually race. It's incredibly frustrating, and that frustration can very easily lead to errors when the green flag finally drops.
It's turning into a bizarre spectacle, almost an endurance test of how long the marshals can keep cleaning the track and the safety car can lead the pack.
This circuit, Montjuic, is always demanding, but this many incidents implies that the lack of rhythm and the cold tires are really biting hard. It's incredibly easy to make a small error that has big consequences here. A truly unprecedented and bewildering day of motorsport.
This is beyond satire, beyond belief, beyond anything I have ever witnessed. The safety car is out for the *18th time today following yet another monumental incident.
18 safety cars. From a driver's seat, this is no longer a race, it's an extreme test of mental and physical breakdown. Keeping focus, keeping temperatures, keeping the car out of trouble through this constant, relentless caution is almost impossible.
Safety cars. I am genuinely, truly speechless. This Montjuic event has completely rewritten the record books for chaos and interruption in motor racing history.
This is a complete and utter nightmare for every driver. You are fighting yourself, fighting the conditions, fighting the frustration. My experience tells me that maintaining any semblance of competitive focus through this level of stop-start action is almost impossible.
Any pre-race strategy, any hope of a normal race, has long since evaporated. We are watching a unique, bewildering spectacle defined by its interruptions.
Yeah, your mind is just constantly resetting. Every time that safety car comes out, it's a mental reset, a physical reset, but you never get into a rhythm. It just keeps compounding the difficulty, especially on a circuit as unforgiving as this one.
The clock is still counting down, but the actual racing distance has been negligible. What kind of a legitimate result can we possibly expect from this chaos? It feels almost unfair.
The winner, if there is one that goes to the finish, will be a testament to pure endurance, mental resilience, and an uncanny ability to navigate absolute pandemonium. It's a surreal day, the most challenging I've ever seen, without even the benefit of full race speeds.
This is absolutely incomprehensible. The safety car is out for the *19th time today following yet another monumental incident. I am genuinely at a complete loss for words. 19 safety cars in one race at Montjuic. This is a truly historic and bewildering event.
19 safety cars. From a driver's perspective, this is beyond frustrating, it's mentally devastating. You're constantly trying to reset, warm tires, and maintain focus, but the race simply isn't happening. It's a test of pure endurance, not speed. My career has never seen anything that even approaches this. The conditions for every restart are incredibly precarious, with cold tires and frayed nerves. It's an immense safety concern, frankly.
"19 safety cars. 19. I am completely and utterly overwhelmed by what we are witnessing here at Montjuic. This race has simply transcended the boundaries of normal motorsport.
This is an absolute mental and physical torment for every driver in the cockpit. You get absolutely no rhythm, no flow, and the constant stopping and starting just drains every ounce of concentration. It's a completely different kind of battle out there now.
Any discussion of racing, of strategy, of overtakes, it all feels so irrelevant. This is a day defined by interruptions, by incidents, and by the sheer, bewildering number of safety car periods.
My experience tells me that by this point, you're just praying to make it to the end without incident. Every single restart is a high-stakes gamble with cold tires and drivers at the absolute edge of their patience. It's incredibly dangerous.
The clock continues to tick, but the actual competitive racing mileage is minuscule. The final result, whenever it comes, will be less about speed and more about sheer survival.
Whoever comes out on top today will have truly conquered an unprecedented gauntlet of chaos and frustration. This Montjuic circuit is always tough, but today it has become something truly unique and frankly, quite alarming.
Absolutely astounding. The safety car is out for the *20th time today, following yet another major incident.
20 safety cars. This isn't a race, it's a test of ultimate resilience. As a driver, you'd be numb with frustration, battling constantly to keep the car, and yourself, ready for nothing but yellow flags.
"20 safety cars. I genuinely have no words left. This Montjuic event has completely redefined the boundaries of what a motor race can be, or rather, what it isn't.
From a driver's perspective, this is a complete mental breakdown. You're constantly trying to reset, trying to warm up the tires and brakes for a race that just refuses to happen. The frustration would be immense, almost debilitating.
Any semblance of competitive racing is long gone. This is purely a test of survival now, avoiding the next incident in what feels like an endless cycle of chaos.
My experience tells me that maintaining focus through this many interruptions is an almost impossible task. Every restart is a gamble with cold tires and frayed nerves, which is why we keep seeing these incidents.
The clock is still ticking, but the actual race distance we've completed under green is minuscule. It's a truly unprecedented and frankly, bewildering spectacle.
The winner, if we even get one, will be the driver who simply endured the most. It's a day that will go down in history, not for the racing, but for the sheer, unbelievable level of disruption.
This is beyond belief, beyond comprehension, beyond any form of motorsport I have ever known. The safety car is out for the *21st time today following yet another monumental incident.
21 safety cars. This is an almost indescribable situation for the drivers. From a cockpit, you're not just trying to race, you're fighting total mental and physical exhaustion, trying to stay ready for a race that simply refuses to run.
"21 safety cars. I am utterly, truly speechless. This Montjuic event has not just rewritten, but completely shredded the record books for chaos and interruption in motor racing history.
This is an absolute mental and physical war of attrition out there. As a driver, you're constantly fighting against extreme frustration, trying to keep focus and any semblance of warmth in your tires and brakes, but it's just a relentless cycle of stopping and waiting.
Any pre-race expectations, any concept of a traditional race, has long since vanished into the Barcelona air. We are witnessing a unique, bewildering spectacle defined entirely by its interruptions.
My experience tells me that by this point, it's less about skill and more about sheer, bloody-minded resilience. You're just trying to keep your head, not get caught out by someone else's mistake, and hope for a clean run that never seems to arrive.
The clock continues to tick down, but the actual racing distance under green flags has been negligible. What kind of a legitimate result can possibly emerge from this level of continuous chaos?
The winner, if there is one today, will be a testament to pure, unyielding endurance, not just on the track, but in the mind. This Montjuic circuit is always tough, but today it has become something entirely unprecedented, and frankly, quite alarming for everyone involved.
This is absolutely beyond belief. The safety car is out for the asterisk 22nd time today following yet another monumental incident.
22 safety cars. This is an unparalleled level of interruption. From a driver's perspective, you're not just racing, you're fighting total mental fatigue and the impossible task of keeping your tires and brakes alive through this endless sequence of yellows.
"22 safety cars. I am genuinely lost for words. This Montjuic event has not just broken records, it's shattered them into a million pieces. This is pure, unadulterated, unprecedented chaos.
This is beyond a mental battle, it's psychological warfare. As a driver, your focus is constantly being pulled apart and put back together. My experience tells me that by this point, every restart is less about gaining position and more about simply not crashing.
Any strategy or hope for a coherent race is completely gone. This isn't about pace anymore. This is utterly, completely beyond belief. The safety car is out for the asterisk 23rd time today following yet another monumental incident.
23 safety cars. This is an almost unfathomable level of interruption.
Practice session drawing to a close, and Chris Stokes still hasn't registered a time on the board. Nigel Walters through the VVS section, still searching for a competitive lap time with just 5.5 minutes left. Stokes through the Avenida dell'Estate, the clock ticking down and still no time set for him. Less than 4.5 minutes left, and Nigel Walters remains without a time. Jamie Price making their way through Rosalita, a provisional P0 for them with just under 4 minutes remaining. Joel Lemerick, in the Guardia Urbana section, also yet to post a lap time as we approach the final 3 minutes. Chris Stokes now, he's finally set a time, and it's a 140.576, straight to the top of the leaderboard in the Font Delgat section.
That's a strong first effort. Sometimes when you're under pressure to get a time on the board, it can really focus you. He's found some pace there.
Jimmy Lindo, still no time on the board for him, and the clock is really winding down now.
He'll be hoping for clear track to get one in. You don't want to go into the race without a proper read on the car.
Gareth Hallam through Avinguda dell'Estati, and still no time from him, a lot of drivers cutting it very fine. Nigel Walters now, a 142.555, slots him into second place in the Risante section. Jimmy Lindo, still no time, he's in San Jordi. He really needs to push on this lap. Tim Weller, in El Angulo de Miramar, with just 7 seconds on the clock, no time set yet for him.
He'll be pushing to just get one across the line, even if it's not perfect, just to have a baseline. Gareth Hallam finally on the board with a 147.171, putting him into 8th position through Rosalita, 24 seconds remaining. Better late than never. Sometimes you just need to get one on the board to clear your head and then you can start pushing.
Chris Stokes improves his time to a 140.563, but he's dropped to 2nd position, currently in the Recta de les Fonts.
Someone's found even more pace than to demote him. It's always a bit deflating to improve your time and lose a spot, but it shows how competitive it is out there.
David Constable Barry into 3rd now with a 140.860, currently in the San Jordi section.
That's a solid lap. He's right there with the front runners, shows good consistency for a practice session.
Tim Weller, still no time on the board with a minute and a half to go, he's in Avinguda dell'Estati.
He's really cutting it close. He needs to string together a clean lap right now if he wants to get a baseline.
Welcome to Montjuic, the engines are fired up and qualification is moments away. Rich snaped through the Avinguda dell'Estati, yet to set a time, with just under 5 minutes left on the clock. Chris Stokes is out there now, needing to get a quick lap in with only 4 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. Nick Edwards is still searching for a competitive time, the clock ticking down to just under 4 minutes.
This is where the pressure really builds. You have to be perfect, because one small mistake in your qualifying run is effectively over. I remember those tight windows well.
Dominic Fovarg is pushing hard through La Pergola, still no time on the board with just over 3 minutes to find one.
This part of the circuit, La Pergola, it demands precision. You're trying to extract every ounce of performance, but knowing you only have 1 or 2 flying laps left adds another layer of mental challenge. I always found that balance critical.
Martin Mole needs to get a move on, 2 minutes and 57 seconds left, and he hasn't posted a time yet. Martin Mole with a rapid lap, 140.083, straight to the top of the leaderboard with just over a minute left. Neil Constable Barry in 4th position, a 143.477, and he's currently a hundredth of a second off that pace through Avinguda dell'Estate with only a minute 18 to go.
You're trying to find those tiny margins right at the end, and even being a fraction slower can feel like a lifetime when you're looking for that last bit of pace. The pressure is immense in these final moments.
Nigel Walters still without a time in Avinguda dell'Estate, and the clock is down to under a minute now.
This is a real challenge for Nigel now. You're pushing on cold tires, trying to find rhythm on a circuit that's just not forgiving. It's a huge ask to pull a fast lap out in these circumstances. I've been there, it's not easy.
Martin Mole is flying. He's currently P2 with a 140.083, but he's 2/10 up on that time through VVS, with just 36 seconds left.
This is it, that final push. Being 2/10 up means he's absolutely extracting everything from the car right now, trying to make those improvements count when it matters most. You're living on the edge in these situations.
Martin Mole with an incredible lap, a 139.526, he shaves half a second off his previous best and takes pole position.
That's how you do it. Under pressure, with seconds to spare, he's found that extra pace. It's a testament to his focus and car control, digging deep at the absolute critical moment. Superb driving.
Adam Tiaz is P8, looking to improve on his 142.331, he's currently a hundredth up through Avinguda dell'Estate with 32 seconds left. Dominic Fovard, currently P15, looks set to improve significantly, he's nearly half a second up on his best through Montjuic. Dominic Fovard improves his time, a 146.342, but he remains in P15. He found some time there, but it wasn't enough to climb the order.
Every 10th counts, and even a small improvement can boost confidence. He'll be hoping that puts him in a better position for the race, even if the grid spot hasn't changed. Sometimes you're just racing yourself.
Nick Edwards is in P11, his best a 144.554, but he's currently 7/10 slower through Avinguda dell'Estate.
This is where consistency really gets tested. A small slide or a slight missed apex, and you can instantly lose all the time you've been fighting for. Montjuic really punishes any imprecision.
Tim Weller, P12 with his 145.256, is currently well off that pace through Rosalita, 18 seconds down. Welcome race fans to the Montjuic circuit in Barcelona. A breezy afternoon here as we await the start of the 1975 Spanish Grand Prix. Lining up in second position on the grid, it's Rich Snape from the UK in his WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, an M-Class driver looking to make an early statement. And starting just behind Snape, in third, it's Chris Stokes from England, piloting the WSC 60 Porsche 910 Sixths.
The 910 is a nimble car, and starting from third, he's got a great vantage point for the run into that first turn. It's a key position for a Pro-Am driver hoping to challenge the front.
Further down the grid, in fifth spot, we find another Pro-Am challenger, Maximilian Turbin, also from England, in his WSC 60 Porsche 910 Sixths.
Fifth is still a strong starting position. You're not quite in the thick of the absolute front row fight, but you're close enough to pick up places quickly if there's any drama ahead. Patience will be key for him early on.
And in seventh, another Pro-Am driver, Jamie Price, in the WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S.
That Ferrari Dino is a beautiful car, very balanced. Starting seventh, you're looking for clean air and a good run, trying to avoid any first lap scuffles that often happen further back in the pack.
Down in ninth, we have Neil Constable Barry from the UK, driving the WSC 60 Matra M630 BRM.
The Matra M630 is a distinctive car, a bit of a rare sight perhaps, but can be very effective. From ninth, he'll be looking to make up ground, especially if he can find a rhythm early on.
In P11, it's Nick Edwards from Canada, behind the wheel of a WSC 60 Ferrari 250 LM.
the Ferrari 250 LM, a legendary car. For a Pro-Am driver starting P11, the goal is likely to manage the tires early and then push later. You don't want to get caught up in the mid-pack traffic.
And in 12th place, Daniel Kosic from Hungary, an M-Class driver in the imposing WSC 60 Shelby Daytona Coupe. Just behind him, in P13, it's Thomas Kruger Dorado from the UK, also in a WSC 60 Shelby Daytona Coupe, a Pro-Am class entrant. Making it 3 Daytona Coupes in a row, Dominic Fauvargue from the UK is in 14th, another Pro-Am class competitor. Further back in P16, we have Nigel Walters from the UK, in his WSC 60 Ferrari Dino 206S Berlinetta, an M-Class driver. And in 17th position, Jimmy Lindo in the WSC 60 Porsche 910 Sixths, an M-Class driver.
From 17th, you're really looking for consistency and clean driving. The race can be won by avoiding mistakes, especially on a demanding circuit like Montjuic.
The lights are out, and we are underway here at Montjuic, a magnificent start for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Everyone's jostling for position into that first corner. It's all about making sure you get a clean run and don't lose any ground you fought hard for in qualifying.
Martin Mull holds his lead. He started from pole and maintains P1 through the early stages of this opening lap. Jamie Price, who started in P6, has dropped back slightly, now running in 8th position. And confirming that, Jamie Price, who began in P6, has indeed fallen back to 8th place on this opening lap.
It's always tough when you lose positions early. He'll need to regroup quickly and find some space to start working his way forward. Montjuic can punish you if you're not absolutely on it.
Further back, Neil Constable Barry has lost 3 places on this opening lap, dropping from 8th down to 11th.
That's a bit of a tumble for him. The first lap can be chaotic. Sometimes it's better to lose a couple of spots and stay clean than risk an incident trying to hold a position.
Good news for the Constable Barry contingent though, David Constable Barry has made up a position, moving from 5th to 4th.
Ah, excellent work. Picking up a place on the first lap is always a bonus, especially when the pack is so tight. He's clearly found some pace and perhaps some clear track.
And David Constable Barry is absolutely glued to the back of Joel Emmerich. They are practically side by side, no gap at all as they chase down P3.
This is exactly where you want to be if you're Constable Barry, putting pressure on Lemmerich. Every tiny mistake will count here. The focus for both drivers will be intense.
Now we see Martin Mull running in 5th place, just 0.4 of a second behind David Constable Barry, with his first recorded lap at 151.224 as we head into the remaining 17 minutes plus 1 lap. Martin Mull is really closing in on David Constable Barry, the gap now down to just 1/10 of a second. That's a serious move for 4th position. Now focusing on Jamie Price, running in 7th, 7/10 behind Maximilian Turbin. His first lap in the books is a 152.861, with 16 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. Jamie Price has trimmed 1/10 off that gap to Maximilian Turbin. Now just 6/10 separates them for 6th place.
Every 10th counts, especially on a circuit like this. Price is clearly finding his rhythm now, and that's exactly what you need to do to reel in the car ahead.
Looking at Jimmy Lindo now, in P14, holding a half-second advantage over Nick Edwards behind him. His first lap was a 2:13.081, with 16 minutes plus an extra lap to go.
That's a bit further back in the pack, so clean driving is vital. He's got a gap to manage, which can be just as difficult as chasing someone down.
Jimmy Lindo has moved up a position to P13, and the gap to Nick Edwards behind has actually widened to 8 tenths.
He's finding some pace and making progress. Moving up in the pack and stretching the lead to the car behind is exactly what you want to see. Maybe he got a clean pass or someone ahead made a mistake.
On to lap 2, Tim Weller is in 12th, half a second back from Daniel Kocic, with a quick 1:46.049 as his best and most recent lap time. Now with Joel Lemrick in 3rd place, just half a second behind Chris Stokes in P2. His last and best lap was a 1:41.062, an impressive pace.
That's a strong lap time. He's clearly pushing hard, and a half-second gap is certainly manageable. He'll be looking for any opportunity to put pressure on Stokes and maybe force a mistake.
Unbelievable, Joel Lemrick has passed Chris Stokes for 2nd position, and Stokes is now just a 10th behind, trying to fight back.
Oh, a brilliant move there. He must have seen an opening and taken it. That's a textbook overtake, but it's not over yet. Stokes will be right on his gearbox, looking to reclaim that spot.
Nigel Walters is now in 9th place, with Jareth Hallam right on his tail, only a 10th of a second separating them. His best lap so far, a 1:43.927. A switch there, Nigel Walters has lost a spot, now in P10, with Jareth Hallam ahead by 3 tenths. And Nigel Walters has reclaimed P9. What a battle, he's now 4 tenths clear of Jareth Hallam, who he just passed back. Chris Stokes is now in 4th, chasing Joel Lemrick in 3rd. Just 3 tenths separating them with a 1:41.297 is Stokes' best lap. The gap between Chris Stokes and Joel Lemrick for 3rd place has opened up a little, now to half a second.
It looks like Lemrick has found a little extra pace there, or perhaps Stokes had a small moment. Either way, he'll need to dig deep to close that half-second advantage again.
Maximilian Turbin is in 6th, now just 3 tenths behind Chris Stokes for P5. Turbin's best lap is a very impressive 1:40.586.
That 1 minute 40 seconds and 5 milliseconds is a serious lap time. Turbin is really flying now, and he's got Stokes right in his sights. This could be another overtake in the making very soon.
Nigel Walters is in P9, pushing hard through the San Jordi section, just 2 tenths behind Adam Tias for 8th, with his latest lap a 1:43.353. The gap between Nigel Walters and Adam Tias for P8 has edged up to 3 tenths. Tim Weller is in 13th place on lap 4, 3 tenths behind Daniel Kocic. His best lap of 1:45.807 shows he has pace. The gap from Tim Weller to Daniel Kocic has gone out to 4 tenths of a second for P12.
It's fluctuating slightly, which often means both drivers are pushing hard. Weller will be looking for a consistent run through the next few corners to try and close that gap back down.
Chris Stokes is now in P4, only 2 tenths off Joel Lemrick for 3rd. That's a rapid closing of the gap. Chris Stokes is absolutely hounding Joel Lemrick for 3rd, still just 2 tenths the gap. He's not letting up. Neil Constable Barry in P14, just 2 tenths behind Daniel Kocic for 13th. His best lap so far, a 1:42.989. The gap from Neil Constable Barry to Daniel Kocic has stretched out to 4/10 of a second.
He'll want to close that back up quickly. A couple of tenths might not seem like much, but it can be the difference between getting a run on someone and being stuck behind them for an entire lap.
Nigel Walters is now in 9th place, just 2/10 behind Adam Tias for P8. He's found some pace, his best lap is a 1:42.064. The gap from Nigel Walters to Adam Tias for P8 has increased to half a second. We've seen some absolutely frantic action in the mid-pack already, with positions changing constantly.
This circuit, Montjuic, really demands everything from the drivers. I remember racing here, every corner is a challenge, no room for error, especially when you're nose to tail like we've seen.
It certainly adds to the spectacle, and with this mix of them and Pro-Am drivers, you wonder if strategy differs much between them?
Absolutely. For the M drivers, consistency and avoiding mistakes is paramount. The Pro-Ams might be pushing a bit harder for overall positions, taking more calculated risks, knowing they have that extra experience to lean on.
We've seen some great displays from both classes today, though, haven't we?
Indeed, it really comes down to who can maintain that focus and manage their tires over the longer stints. It's a mental game as much as a physical one.
Adam Tias is now in 9th, pushing hard through San Jordi, just 2/10 off Jimmy Lindo for P8, with 9 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. A significant change there. Adam Tias has lost a lot of ground to Jimmy Lindo for P8. The gap has ballooned to over a second. Neil Constable Barry is in P14, just 3/10 behind Daniel Kocic for 13th. Still trying to close that gap down on lap 6.
He's consistent, but you'll need to find something extra to make a move. 3/10 can feel like a chasm on a tight circuit when you're trying to pass.
And Neil Constable Barry has done it. He's passed Daniel Kocic for 13th, and Kocic is right on his bumper.
Brilliant move. He must have timed that perfectly. But he won't be able to relax. Kocic will be looking to get that position back immediately.
Daniel Kocic is now in 14th, nearly a second behind Neil Constable Barry after losing that position. His best lap is a 1:45.366. That gap has really opened up. Daniel Kocic is now 1.7 seconds adrift of Neil Constable Barry for 13th. Maximilian Turbin is in P6, just 4/10 from David Constable Barry in P5. He's maintained his strong pace, with a best lap of 1:40.586.
He's been very consistent in the 140S, which is excellent. He'll be waiting for Constable Barry to make any sort of error, then he'll be right there to capitalize.
Nigel Walters is now in 10th, 3/10 behind Adam Tias for 9th. His best lap of 1:41.863 shows he's got good speed.
He's keeping the pressure on. That's a strong lap time for someone in P10, so he's clearly trying to make up ground. Good to see him fighting for position.
A clean pass from Nigel Walters. He's taken P9 from Adam Tias, and now has a 3/10 advantage. Daniel Kocic in P15, running through El Angulo de Miramar, just a 10th behind Nick Edwards for P14. This is a very tight battle. A significant change there. Daniel Kocic has lost another position and is now P16, 1.6 seconds behind Nick Edwards.
Something must have happened there to lose that much ground in such a short time. He'll need to focus and recover from whatever setback that was.
Neil Constable Barry is in 13th, 4/10 off Tim Weller for P12. He's got a solid best lap time, so the pace is there.
He's been very active in the mid-pack, passing and being passed. This 4/10 gap gives him something to work with, but he'll have to be precise.
Neil Constable Barry has closed that gap further to Tim Weller for P12, it's now just 2/10.
He's really on it now. 2/10 means he's right there, looking for a way past. This could be an overtake any moment, especially on corner exit.
Daniel Kocic in P16, only a tenth of a second behind Dominic Fauvard for 15. What a close fight this is.
He's obviously recovered well from whatever happened earlier. A tenth is nothing, he's practically in the slipstream. Expect him to be all over Fauvard in the next braking zone.
Tim Weller is in 13th now, running through El Angulo de Miramar, but he's lost significant ground to Neil Constable Barry for 12th, now almost a second back.
That's a frustrating situation for Weller after closing the gap earlier. Something clearly disrupted his pace, allowing Constable Barry to get away. He'll have to push hard to reel him back in now.
That gap has really stretched out. Tim Weller is now 1.8 seconds behind Neil Constable Barry for P12.
He's definitely lost pace there. Perhaps a tire issue, or maybe just struggling for grip. That's a big gap to make up in a short amount of time. It will be very difficult for him.
Daniel Kocic in P16, now 6/10 behind Dominic Fauvard for 15th, with 4 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. David Constable Barry in 5th place, has now opened up a 1.4 second lead over Maximilian Turbin. He's just set his best lap, a blistering 140.430. Maximilian Turbin has managed to claw back some time on David Constable Barry, the gap now 0.8 of a second. Daniel Kocic has now gained a position in P15 through Avinguda dell'Estati, with only a tenth of a second separating him from Dominic Fauvard behind.
He's really fighting for every position. That's an incredibly tight margin. Fauvard will be right in his mirrors, looking for any chance to get back past.
Daniel Kocic has edged out a small advantage, now 0.3 clear of Dominic Fauvard for P16.
He's managed to consolidate that position and pull away slightly. A few tenths can make all the difference in breaking the toe and giving him a bit of breathing room.
Dominic Fauvard is now in 16th, 0.7 behind Daniel Kocic for P15. His best lap still a 1:45.171. Dominic Fauvard has closed the gap to Daniel Kocic for P15, now just 0.3.
He's really putting the hammer down there. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to chip away at a gap like that, especially when the clock is ticking down.
Maximilian Turbin is in P6, just 0.4 behind David Constable Barry for 5th. He's just set his best lap of the race, a 1:40.224. Dominic Fauvard is now right on the back of Daniel Kocic for 15th, the gap just a tenth. That gap has increased again, Dominic Fauvard now 0.3 behind Daniel Kocic for P15. Dominic Fauvard has passed Daniel Kocic for 15th position, and Kocic is immediately on his bumper. Daniel Kocic is now in P16, trailing Dominic Fauvard by 0.4 of a second for 15th, trying to get that position back. Daniel Kocic has closed slightly on Dominic Fauvard for P15, now just 0.3.
He's not giving up on that spot. The momentum can shift quickly in these battles, and he's definitely found some of it back.
Maximilian Turbin remains in P6, 4/10 from David Constable Barry in 5th. He's been incredibly consistent with his pace.
He's keeping him honest, isn't he? 4/10 is a good working gap, always there if Constable Barry makes a slight error. You just keep the pressure on.
The gap to David Constable Barry has opened up slightly for Maximilian Turbin, now half a second.
It's just a small increase, but it means Constable Barry is finding a bit more rhythm or Turbin had a small correction. Every bit of track makes a difference here.
Daniel Kocic is once again right on the bumper of Dominic Fauvard for 15th, no gap between them in the San Jordi section. Daniel Kocic has retaken 15th position from Dominic Fauvard, and now has a 3/10 lead.
He doesn't want to give an inch. That's a great demonstration of persistence and putting the pressure on until the overtake sticks.
Maximilian Turbin has closed right back up to David Constable Barry for P5, the gap now just 3/10. He's there. Maximilian Turbin is just a 10th behind David Constable Barry for 5th place. This is going to be a nail-biter.
He's done an incredible job to close that down. 1/10 means he's basically in the slipstream, just waiting for the next braking zone or corner exit to try and make his move.
Adam Tiaz is in P11, 3/10 behind Jareth Hallam for 10th place, with his best lap at 142.365. The gap from Adam Tiaz to Jareth Hallam for P10 has increased to 4/10 of a second.
He'll need to find some extra pace quickly if he wants to stay in contention for that position. Every 10th counts on this circuit.
Huge drama there. Adam Tiaz has plummeted to P12, and the gap to Jareth Hallam in P10 has opened up massively to 15.6 seconds. Something has gone very wrong. David Constable Barry is in P5, 6/10 behind Joel Lemrick for 4th position. He's maintaining a strong race pace.
He's been very consistent, but that gap to Lemrick will take some serious effort to close down. Lemrick is a strong competitor, so it won't be easy.
Rich Snape is in the lead, dominating this race and heading towards the checkered flag, with Martin Mole 0.9 seconds behind him. Rich Snape crosses the line. What a drive. He takes the checkered flag and wins the race from his starting position of second.
An absolutely superb performance from Snape, managing the pressure and putting in a flawless drive. Starting second and converting that into a win on a track like Montjuic, that's truly impressive.
And Martin Mole crosses the line in second place, a strong finish for the pole sitter.
He led for a long time, but couldn't quite hold off Snape in the end. Still, P2 from pole is an excellent result and a very solid drive throughout the race.
Chris Stokes takes 3rd place. An excellent podium finish for him today.
He started in 3rd and finishes in 3rd, a great example of consistency in managing the race. He certainly earned that podium spot, holding off some serious challenges.
And crossing the line now, we see Joel Lemrick finishing 4th, followed by David Constable Barry in 5th.
Then it's Jamie Price in 6th, and Maximilian Turbin, after a strong showing, takes 7th. A fantastic effort from all of them.
Now, across the line we have Jimmy Lindo taking 8th, Nigel Walters in 9th, and further back, Daniel Kocic finishing in 16th position.
These middle to back of the pack battles are often just as intense as the front. Every position earned is a victory in itself. Well done to them all for bringing it home.
Jareth Hallam crosses the line in 10th, with Neil Constable Barry in 11th, and Tim Weller finishing in 12th.
3 more finishers, concluding some great battles we saw throughout the race. Every driver pushed to the very end today.
Nick Edwards now crosses the line, taking 13th position.
A steady drive for him to finish 13th. It's about bringing the car home and learning from every lap out there.
Dominic Fauvard now crosses the finish line, securing 14th place.
He had some really close battles out there today. To finish 14th after all that, it shows a lot of resilience and fight.
Yellow flag, safety cars out.
And Adam Tiaz is across the line now, finishing in 15th position.
He had some moments earlier in the race, but he kept it together to finish. That's what you want, to see the checkered flag after a challenging drive.